Good morning. We're going to shake it up this week and do something a little bit different. We haven't had a sit down chat like this in a while, and I wanted to share with you how my pregnancy has been going, what I've been doing for food and exercise, and how I've been feeling and how I've been sleeping, all the fun changes that come as I'm growing this little baby girl. So if you're just interested in hearing about what's been going on and getting a bit of an update on that, I'd be happy to share it with you. If we haven't met before, hi, my name is Trimester. I am a life coach. I basically help people make amazing decisions that help them move their lives forward. But let's jump into it. I'm going to be sharing with you what's different, what's new, what's changing, what I'm worried about. Pregnancy is an interesting thing. I gotta tell you, it is one of the most fascinating experiences, just being in this body that is changing and growing and moving, and it's just, honestly, I've had such a blast. And not to say that all moments have been easy, but I've been having a lot of fun just enjoying being pregnant and all the fun stuff that comes with it. So let's jump in from the top. I got a couple things that I want to go over that have changed. So right now, as I'm filming this, I am at 27 weeks and 5 days, which means, depending on what blog or article you're following, that means I entered trimester number 3 in only 2 days. And I have been looking forward to this. We passed, last Friday was November 1st, and I was like, oh my gosh, she is here in 3 months. Now it's less than 3 months. So literally 12 weeks is her due date. And if she arrives on time, that's when she's gonna be there. Be here, I guess. But knowing that we're 27 weeks, 5 days in now, just a kind of an update on my body, I have definitely gained some weight, which is great. I'm up, honestly, it depends on the day, between 18 and 20 pounds right now. And I'm gaining about a pound a week right now, which is super fascinating because I always love seeing how the body is changing. Lots of fun extra things have popped up. You know, there's cellulite on my legs now and on my butt. And I've gone up 2 bra sizes, I think, already, with things that are changing like that. But for the most part, everything's going pretty normally. I think if I stay at this 1 pound a week weight gain for the next 12 weeks, I'll probably hit it about 30 to 35 pounds of weight gain during the entire pregnancy, which I'm totally okay with because I'm staying super active and I'm doing the best I can here, and you know, it feels really good so far. As far as maternity clothes, because I live in Lululemon, I've only had to buy 3 things. I have bought a dark pair of jeans, I've bought a blue pair of jeans, and I bought a sweater because sometimes I just want a big baggy sweater. And if you see me wearing my Mickey Mouse sweater, I practically live in that thing half the time. But most of my clothes are spandex, and all of my clothes are still fitting for the most part. When you wear spandex, everything fits all the time. So it just is growing with me, and I also hope it shrinks with me when we're going the other way. But I mean, as far as that and body changes, we just went for another checkup on Monday. Everything was good. Baby's heart rate's good. Blood pressure's staying down. I did my diabetes glucose test. So for those of you guys that don't know, when you're pregnant, you have to go and get a test to test your blood sugar and make sure you're responding properly to how your body is processing sugar, which is so fascinating because I feel like that's what I talk about all the time on this channel, is how our body's hormones deal with sugar and stuff like that, and that does change during pregnancy. But I was happy to say that after 2 hours in the waiting room, 3 needle pricks, and the sweetest, sugariest, smallest little thing I've ever drank, all is good on that front. I don't have gestational diabetes, so I was really thankful for that. But what I've also learned is that everyone was like, wait, that is the grossest drink you'll ever drink. It's so disgusting. They make you drink this drink and then they monitor how your body metabolizes the sugar in your bloodstream. I gotta say, it wasn't that bad. I don't know, maybe it's just my taste buds have changed. I always thought that I don't have very grand taste buds as it is, but I was able to check it back in about 30 seconds. It wasn't that bad. It kind of tasted like you know how a Smirnoff Ice would taste, but if you took the vodka out, so just really syrupy. The worst part about it, though, was just the taste on my tongue, but I had such an experience in that waiting room, I tell you, because having 75 grams of sugar in 1 drink, goodness gracious, the headache that I got. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, migraine. And of course, you know, there's this woman that comes in with her stroller. She's got a baby that is crying, and I'm just like, oh gosh, here's my future. But my headache was just splitting, and I was like, it's okay. We're gonna be fine, because I had been told by so many clients, if you throw up during the sugar test, you gotta do it all over again. And I don't wanna drink that again. I don't wanna sit here for 2 hours again. I don't want 3 more blood tests. I'm not getting sick during this. So I'm sitting there and I'm like, please, oh gosh, headache. And then she tries to make the baby stop crying. And bless her, she takes a stroller and she starts shaking it right in front of me. I have motion sickness. I have vertigo. I get so nauseous. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is the end. This is where I'm going to throw up right now. The stroller's going in front of me. I've got a migraine. My tongue tastes like syrup. And I literally was like this. I'm like, oh my gosh, I've got to lay. So I took my chair and I slowly started turning it this way until I was the weirdo in the waiting room facing the wall. But you know what? I didn't throw up. I was okay. I sat there, did my namaste, tried to read my book, and it all ended out okay anyways. But so, I mean, otherwise than that, everything's been going really well. As far as food, I gotta tell you, things have changed. I cannot wait for this pregnancy. When it's safely completed, baby's here, to go back to eating normally, because I still can't eat leafy greens. I can't eat most vegetables. They just have no appeal to me whatsoever. What I have been able to do really well at eating is, for some reason, I can eat peppers and I can eat the Szechuan green beans that they have at Costco. I can eat them. I can eat a lot of them. I'm also on and off with Brussels sprouts, but for the most part, to be quite frank, like, I gag the whole time I eat them. It is the weirdest experience, and I just miss what it feels like to love a salad and to feel like you're taking really good care of I miss that so much, because the other thing that went out the door is most forms of protein. I don't want to look at a chicken. I don't want to look at a raw chicken especially. There are very few things I can tolerate. I've tried again to eat just like half of a cooked chicken breast yesterday, and I had to just put it back in the fridge and gag the whole time. So basically, still on the beige diet, as with the whole first trimester. Days basically look like mornings I'm eating scrambled eggs and oatmeal and blueberry and chia seeds, so breakfast is still going well. For lunch, I've been doing a lot of cottage cheese, which I actually find works really well because it gets my protein in there. I'm not used to eating dairy, but it's something that I've had to make a compromise on because I need to get protein in, take care of this little babe. And then maybe sometimes for lunch I'll have something with peanut butter on it or something like that. Dinner, the best, honestly, the things that I'm getting down the most, and I feel like I eat the same thing over and over and over again. I'm really good at soup, and that's where I sneak some of my veggies in. And I'm really good at chicken fajitas. I don't know what it is about those two things, but I can eat those. And we've also brought in some like just generic pastas back in because I just need stuff that has no taste, super bland to get the calories in. Otherwise, I find I'm just overeating, and especially as she grows and my stomach is taking up, this much room, and it's, every time I eat, I feel over full, so I'm barely eating now as it is, so I'm needing to make sure I get enough food. It's honestly been very complicated. Intermittent fasting is out the window. I have just let her tell me, by the way, baby's a girl, I just let her tell me what she wants. You know what? You don't want leafy greens? I'm okay with that. But as soon as you're out, I'm going back to all the leafy greens. And I just really can't wait to go back to that bit of a lifestyle. But food is entirely different right now. For the most part, I'm eating still 3 meals a day. They're nice and spread out. There's some days I'm not hungry at all, and some days I'm hungry all the time. So that's kind of what's happening on the food front. As far as exercise goes, this has been such a challenge because you don't realize how much you truly enjoy and love being able to move your body the way you want to be able to move it until you can't. Like, there's so many things that I've had to take out. Obviously, I ended up taking out anything of impact right away. Mostly the running, because I had really bad cramps every time I ran. Not because running's not good for you during pregnancy, but because I had such bad cramps. So that went right away. And then I would say probably about 8 weeks ago, I started developing a lot of joint pain. So while some people get morning sickness and some people get swollen feet and some people get high blood pressure, everyone gets their flavor. Mine is my joints have decided to relax a little quicker than the average bear. Where this is specifically noticeable on me is my pubic bone, so in the front, and in my sacrum in the back. So that's kind of where like your tailbone and your hip and your spine, they all kind of come together. Those joints on me have relaxed. And I gotta tell you, I have not been able to go on walks. I have a step counter, and I find if I take any more than like 5,000 to 6,000 steps a day, I am in massive amounts of pain. So it's actually been quite tough because that cuts out a lot of things. So with that, I've had to cut out all single leg exercises. So as this goes on, my exercises are limited in what I can actually do. So I'm taking care of my body first and making sure that things don't hurt. That's got to be the number one. But I still am minimum 4 days a week in the gym right now. We are usually in the gym by 6:15 in the mornings. 4 days a week, 5 days a week, just depends on the week. But what it usually looks like is I'm now doing spin, about half hour hard on the bike, 30 minutes. I'm doing the Peloton app, so I'm getting my classes in. It's so much fun. So I'm doing that for 30 minutes, 3 times a week. I am just covered in sweat, and that's the other really weird thing. Sweat has changed. My face has stopped sweating, but my belly button to knee range is just the sweatiest. I don't know what happened with my hormones that is making that happen, but it's disgusting. And so that's also what's changed. But yeah, so I got my spin, and then I usually do say 30 minutes of spin, and then I'll do some weights. So I do one entire day devoted to back because I really want to be strong because, you know, with carrying babies and with having the extra weight, I am rounded forward all the time. And it's something that I really want to take care of to make sure I don't develop any postural imbalances. So I'm doing a full day on back. I'm doing a full day on shoulders, arms, and chest. And then the other day, if I have a third weight training day, it'll usually just kind of be a little bit of, maybe I'll do some 2-leg stuff, very minimal, all body weight, like narrow squats. I will do narrow hip raises, all things where my legs are working together because my pubic joint, it gets so sore. So I want you to think about if your pubic joint is made up of your hip bone, you get bone and bone that come together and there's a cartilage in there, but when your joint relaxes, it starts to grind a little bit. And knowing that I started experiencing this around like week 22, I really want to take care of myself going in now that I have 12 more weeks. I want to be able to move because there are some days, it was last 2 Sundays ago at the end of the day, I couldn't walk at the end of the day. So Flynn, my husband, had to carry me up the stairs and carry me around the house. And so I'm really paying attention to making sure that, you know, I'm taking care of that. But as far as exercise, feeling really good, doing a lot of moving, and that. As far as my energy goes, though, I feel the same. Like, I forget I'm pregnant most of the time until, you know, I decide to try to pick something up off the floor or put my socks on. But for the most part, energy's been really good. I feel really lucky. I know that this is supposed to slow down into a 3rd trimester, but I'm just going to roll with it right now. I've been feeling really good. As far as symptoms, there's been nothing really out of the ordinary. I do notice that my hair doesn't get oily as much. Like, it's really weird. I just keep waking up and it looks fine, which is very unlike me. My nails grow super fast and they're super strong, but that might also just be to the prenatal vitamin. What else has been going on as far as symptoms? Yeah, not really. I mean, it's been just I'm thankful. It's just a really easy journey through this, and I've been enjoying it and having a lot of fun. Let's see. As far as sleep has been going, I sleep on average still 7.5 to 8 hours a night. The biggest thing is I just have to put a pillow between my legs or I will find my back and hips get really sore. But sleeping, my Fitbit says 7.5 to 8 hours spent asleep per night, which is good. And I've only been able to do that because if I cut my water off at 6 p.m., I don't have to pee so many times during the night, which is really good. But aside from that, that's how it's been going. It's just been, you know, dealing with the hormone changes. I think that's the biggest thing is that I'll notice like every couple weeks I'll feel a hormone shift. Like, for example, I'll wake up and I'll feel super emotional. Like, I am overwhelmed by the entire world and all I want to do is just read or watch YouTube videos. And so I've had to consciously not only monitor how I'm creating some of that with my thinking, but about taking those timeouts where maybe it's just I need to take half an hour in the morning to read or watch some YouTube videos on Christmas decorating or, you know, anything like that. That's really what's been helping out. And I can also feel when my hormones shift out of that. Like right now, it's been a great week. I feel completely normal. But 2 weeks ago, I was having a really rough week with anxiety and stress. And so I think that's just the hormone changes that come with it and taking it as it goes. I mean, for the most part, it's been really fun. I've been having a great time with this. My belly is fun. My skin feels like it's gonna tear my belly button apart half the time. She moves all the time now, which is so great. Most of the time she is transverse, so she's going across my body and I can feel because she's been doing this thing lately where she like, I can feel my skin start to stretch, and then I can feel one side of my stomach go like rock hard, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm almost touching her, like that's where she is. That must be her back or her butt or her head or something like that, but I can definitely feel where she is, and it is so much fun to just feel her moving. And as she gets bigger, she's supposed to be the size of romaine lettuce this week, I suppose, and the weight of a quart of milk. I don't even know what a quart is, but that's how much she weighs this week. But something cool happened yesterday. She got the hiccups for the first time. And I've been waiting for this because people tell me about this, so I'm trying to like read my book and just get into my zen before I go. I had 6 clients back to back yesterday, and she decides to get the hiccups. And at first I was like, oh, maybe that's my pulse, because my placenta is located on the front of my uterus, so often when I put my hands on my stomach, I can feel my pulse. But, so I checked my pulse, and I'm like feeling, and I'm like, nope, my pulse is definitely faster than whatever is. This is rhythmic, like tensing. And so I was like, oh my gosh, there's gotta be hiccups. And I'm trying to read, and they're super distracting. And then I started feeling the hiccups in my bum. And I was like, so I got on my phone and I started Googling, and I'm like, baby hiccups in bum, because you know, what would we do without Google? You can Google everything now. And like, literally, it felt like someone was poking my bum from the inside. And so apparently this just means that yesterday she decided to flip and go head down, and that's what I was feeling was those hiccups. But honestly, it was so uncomfortable. I couldn't even read. I was like, please flip. Oh my gosh, if you're gonna have the hiccups, please don't be in that position. That's so uncomfortable. But, so yeah, she's got the hiccups now. I really don't like how those hiccups feel, and they were just super distracting, but it's super cute at the same time. Yeah, otherwise than that, just getting the nursery together, which I will do a full tour and kind of show you guys how that's coming together. We still need to do some painting, get some photos for the walls. Obviously, we need to get a bunch of basic stuff, but we did get our stroller, which we were so excited about. They changed the model of the stroller we wanted a couple years ago, and we have been looking and looking on like Craigslist and Facebook Marketplace, and I could not find a new model of this stroller, and I was so upset. So we had just resigned to paying the $1,400 for a stroller. What? Yes, we had just resigned to paying it. We're like, you know what? This is something we're going to use and want daily. But we were sitting at the bank in an appointment, and one came up on Facebook Marketplace, and it was a 2019, and she wanted $1,000. Of course, I went over there. I gave her $700 for it, so we got our stroller for half price. So I'm really excited. We ended up getting the, it's living in our kitchen right now, because where do you store these things? Store these things. They're huge. This is, I guess we got the Uppa Baby Vista. It's a 2019. It's in black. Super excited. It turns really easy. I can close it, but they're huge. Where do you store these things? Like, in your trunk? I don't know where to put it. Anyways, it's currently living in the kitchen. We have tried to push our cat around in it multiple times. She's not having any of it. She doesn't want to go in the basket or the top. But essentially, we've got the stroller here. We still gotta get the car seat. That's the last big purchase we gotta get. I gotta get the breast pump, and I gotta get just the little things and stuff like that. But it's all coming together. I told my husband we are being ready for this baby December 31st. 1 month early. I want to be fully prepared in case I go in early, and I just like that for my brain and my type A brain. So it's so good. Last thing I gotta say before we jump off, I'll show you guys what the bump is looking like. My belly button is almost out. It's kind of cute. So, I always keep forgetting. So I moved my office from upstairs down to the kitchen, but we haven't changed. I see if I can show you. We haven't changed the light yet. So we have this big light here right now, and I smash my head on it at least twice a week. I have a light to replace it with, but you would think we've done that yet? No. So I'm gonna not hit myself in the head. All right, bump date so far. Let's see if we can see here. So 27 weeks. It's kind of looking cute. It's I don't know, belly button is on its way out, I suppose. But yes, that's the bump. It's kind of cute. It's kind of round. I don't know. I have fun with it. But anyways, that's all. That's what the second trimester's been. It's been so much fun. I have been thoroughly enjoying it. Just having fun being pregnant, trying to soak it up, you know, enjoy that she's the safest she's ever going to be while she's in my stomach right now, and that I have her with me all the time, and I can't wait to meet her, but she can stay in there for another 3 months. I want her to be well cooked, hopefully before she comes out. But if you guys have any questions or any comments or any tips that you think would help me, especially about where to store that, what I definitely need, what I don't need, there's so much going on, tips for third trimester, leave them in the comments, you guys. Otherwise, have a wonderful, wonderful week, and I will be back next week with more content of the usual type on all our things to do with food and exercise and health and all the good stuff. But I will talk to you later. Have a wonderful week. Bye.